caller. And women's soccer is going Hollywood. A majority female group has secured the rights to launch the national women's soccer team in Los Angeles in 2022. The group is led by Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian and wife tennis star Serena Williams. And that's your Bloomberg Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
This is Zoe Wesson. There are a few times in life to make history. Hamilton County was founded 230 years ago, but has never elected a black county treasurer. It's time for change. Elect a proven, trusted, experienced candidate for Hamilton County Treasurer, Charlie Winburn. We know Charlie, and he knows us. Charlie Winburn was the former chairman of the Jobs and Growth Committee on Cincinnati City Council under the Honorable Democrat Mayor Mark Mallory. Winburn led the fight to keep 2,000 U.S. postal jobs in Cincinnati. He also fought for wage increases for thousands of city employees, especially our sanitation workers. Charlie Winburn will safeguard more than $1.4 billion in real estate taxes and will increase new home ownership and new jobs. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer. Let's make history together.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living then has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hello, I'm Charlie Winburn with Renew Community Church. It seems like the coronavirus came from nowhere. I have some good news. That if you never quit and don't give up, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family. Take your life back. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday, 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CincyRenew. Rewrite your life while at home. Join Renew Community Church for the 12-week Rewrite.me series each Sunday on Facebook Live. Renew your life at home. Go to SundayConnectCircle.org for a free 12-week, 200-page PDF. Take your power back. Rewrite your life. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday at 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CINCI Renew. I am Charlie Winburn, and remember, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family.
This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Get ready to be engaged. Get ready to be informed. Get ready to be enlightened. Get ready to be enraged by the man City Beat Magazine called a talk radio rebel. And your host. Now back to the show.
All right, good morning, family. Now listen, I did become aware that the show stopped and started again on Facebook. So we are back on Facebook. You should have no problems following the new stream. And things are not, it's not a perfect science. I am working on it.
Thank you for being here. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning, 8:43 a.m. in the Queen City. And I got some hilarious news from Angelo. You just making my legend. I got political candidates running from interviews. I must be doing something right. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Let me get everybody on here. Charles is on Facebook. He writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning. Alicia writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Rebels in the house. Hey, good to see you, Rebel. It's been a minute. We should catch up. Good morning, Nate. You ever thought about doing a podcast? We should talk. Let's do it. CL writes, Grand Risings all. Good morning to you. James writes, what up, bro? Looking sharp. Be well today. Yeah, I got a little business in the 10 a.m. hour. So the show be ending no later than 10:05 a.m. this morning, okay? Thank you for that. Angela writes, hey, good morning, everyone. Bruce Hoffcoward, that's his new name, right? Is going to be on the Lincoln Ware Show today at 11. Okay, I may have time to do that then. Yeah, I didn't see that before. Bruce Hoffcoward. You know I'm going to use that on Twitter. You already know he earned it. We must be doing something right, fam. We got Hamilton County Sheriff candidates running from an interview with little old me. All it is questions, but it must be something different, huh? A little different over here. That's hilarious. Brenda writes, good morning. Daphne writes, good morning. Angela writes, he put it on his Twitter page, did he? I'm sure he did. Lynn writes, good morning, great people. I already know what happened. I'm telling you, I know what happened. One of two things. Either he got in his feelings, he got mad because I broke the story and put his business out there that he was trying to hide. As if in a post-George Floyd world, we was going to let you run for Hamilton County Sheriff and not tell the world that you killed an unarmed man back in the 90s. An unarmed man back in the 90s run around trying to call it suicide by cop, which I think is a very dangerous. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but like everything else, I think some of these things happen and then police and police forces try to just fit it into a box. I question all of it. And you trying to get elected to Hamilton County Sheriff and you don't want to talk about it? If not for me and us breaking this story, would the story even be out there? I don't know. We scooped local media in its entirety with that story. So I'm just saying, it is what it is. KR Mitchell writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Misty writes, good morning, Nathan Ivy. Good morning to you, Misty. Good to see you. Dale writes, hey, Nate. Charles writes, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Now, there's 2 streams up on Facebook right now. You know what? Let me go ahead and do something real quick because I don't want people to go to the wrong stream this morning and then to not be able to get the show. So there it is. I took care of that. And so now they should be able to find the proper stream. So the software I'm using ain't perfect, obviously. And it stopped the stream and then it restarted again on its own. So what it did is instead of it continuing inside the same stream, it started a whole new stream, maybe like 34 minutes into the show. So just so you know, if you're just tuning in or you try to find us. The Queen of Cyber Wakanda only posts when me or Donnie B calls. She is immersed, but picking a fight with the wrong ones. She's been warned. You ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to do a damn thing but talk some ish. And that's not the only time she posts. And if it is, so what? Don't feed the trolls. Is anyone here seriously considering voting for Bruce for sheriff? If not, the point of an interview is really moot. I disagree with that completely. I don't believe that at all. He on the ballot. And we can't come on now. I'm surprised that you saying that, Angela. You know, I'm surprised you saying that because I disagree with that vehemently in the sense that if you on the ballot, you got a shot at being elected. And we can't generalize when it comes to the black vote and think all black folks think the same and everybody has the same level of awareness because they do not. I'm telling you, they do not. We might be aware. You're aware, right? We know about it, but I guarantee there's people tuning into the show today for the first time, whether it be the audio stream or the live stream, who ain't heard about it. And how do I know? Because I've received messages from people over the last month or so like, oh, Nate, thanks for bringing this to my attention. And I've been talked about it. And the second thing is we can't assume and fall asleep and think, and write a candidate off. I completely disagree with it. But then also I believe in, and this is where the cowardice that Bruce Hoffbauer or Bruce Hoff-Coward is showing right now really doesn't make any sense. Because as I said from day one, I just want to give you a spot so you can explain yourself. I believe that everyone has a right. I don't care if you're white or black or Democrat or independent or Republican. I believe that all candidates have a right, or should be given the opportunity is a better way of saying it. The way I do media, this is the way I do it. I can't speak for anybody else, but I believe that all local candidates, whether they got controversy or not, you know my style, should be given the opportunity to interface with the public on some levels. So you think about it to the last city council elections. I try to talk to everybody, whether it was the big time candidates who they had hundreds of $1,000s, or it was the new voices that people thought, they ain't got no shot. You on the ballot. I think that good media, the way I do media, is that we should give you a chance to interact with the audience, and the audience should make their decision. I feel the same thing about Bruce Hoffbauer. As I said before, he might have a compelling story to tell. I just want to hear it. I want to ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? I trust myself over anybody with that. But let me go straight to the phones here. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, Guy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the show.
That's right. It's your man's Hacksaw Jim Thuggin, sitting here in my drawers and my boots, carrying a long piece of something. But listen, hey, if I'm Bruce Hoffbauer, I wouldn't come on your show either. Don't get it wrong. As a fan, me personally, Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin, I enjoy the Nathan Ivey show. I enjoy, the jokes, the humor, the flows, the people. But Bruce Hoffbauer's like, how many of those people, as his listeners going to vote for me? 3? 5? If I'm lucky? Hell, 2 if he's lucky. I wouldn't come either. Lincoln Ware, he's the Lester Holt of Cincinnati media. The non-threatening black guy you could go in and say you talk to black media to. Joe Dieters is a mainstay on his station. Comes on about once every 6 months since he's, since they've been in that format over there. What was it, back in 2000, 2002 when they started? If I'm not mistaken?
I don't know. But I generally agree with what you're saying so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe Dieters is always on there. I specifically remember Joe Dieters spent like an hour on there when that woman cut her baby's head off.
I remember that. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but you know what you think of Joe Dieters and most of his audience. You see what I'm saying? So, from, not only just brother to a brother, but, media to media. Don't take it personal that he won't come on your show. And don't be offended that he's on the link.
Hold on, brother. I called it months ago when I first talked about it. I knew this was going to happen. It ain't personal. To me, it's just a little badge. I'll put a little badge right there. I mean, it comes with the territory when you have the certain style that I do. So believe me, it ain't no hurt feelings. This was anticipated. Right. I just want to toot my own horn. That's all I'm doing this morning is keeping it real so people know how the story got broken and what's really going on. But ain't no hurt feelings at all.
Right. When I covered schools in a suburb near Columbus, the superintendent tried to ban me from the school. Tried to ban me off the grounds. Lawyers got involved and blah, blah, blah. And, the superintendent ended up rescinding the ban.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask, what did you do?
Because I was doing my job. I dug up a story about this particular female superintendent who actually applied at Princeton during that time. This was 2004-ish, 5-ish. So she applied at Princeton maybe 2003-ish. They were trying to close a school to build a new one. And it was the same formula. One of the school board members during a meeting said something about the school, how it was bad. And then the other one started piling on. She did the same thing in Tiffin when she was the superintendent up there. I dug up that story. and just it was. I mean, not to brag, it was one of my better stories that I've ever written.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I think now you're talking. I think I've heard this story before, but please continue.
But yeah, that's all I got on that. Just don't take it personal, B. But like you said, you knew it was gonna happen. You a big boy.
Yeah, but we real grown over here.
But as far as Tamir, all I know is this. First of all, that company A joke I made was about householder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, is he related to Paul Householder, the former Red? If I'm mistaken, he was from Columbus as well. But if you out here doing that kind of stuff for $15K, you silly. That's silly talk. I don't care Democrat or Republican. That just tells me you were not equipped for this game. $15K? That's more I got in my pocket and bank combined. But you can't be out here ruining your career, facing 20 years in the joint over $15K. Meanwhile, people 90 minutes up north doing it for $60 million. I'll show you how to do this, son.
Right, which means he'll probably get more jail time. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
Jail time is jail time.
Nah, it ain't.
Once you go behind the Great Steel Gate, once you go Nathan, remember what I told you? I had a year, was locked up with people who had 40 years with my cellmate.
Right.
People who had dumb years.
Right. And so there's a difference between there's a difference between 1 year and 4 years. Which would you choose?
Probably 4.
Yeah, I bet you would. I bet you would for the sake of this conversation.
You're going to come out with the same penalties. You're going to come out with that F on your report card, and you still got to wait 5 years before you can really make some stuff happen.
Yeah, but in one case, you coming out 3 years earlier, B. Stop fronting for the sake of this conversation. Knock it off.
No,
all time is not the same.
Nathan,
you might do it. It might, when you're in the time, it might be the same, but the duration matters.
Okay.
The duration matters.
If you say so, I mean, I love hearing about jail from people who've never been. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just like taking advice.
I think that's irrelevant to the point, though, but I hear you.
That's just like taking fatherly advice from somebody who ain't got kids.
Yeah,
remember I asked you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but you don't have to go to jail to understand the passage of time.
50 years?
You know what I'm saying, bro? You ain't got to go to jail to understand the passage of time. That's one thing, whether you're in jail or not. We as all humans understand the passage of time, and that's what we're talking about. Now, obviously, I cannot challenge your expertise and your experience on actually being in jail. You got me on that one, but you ain't going to never sell me that 1 year is the same as 4 years. It ain't going to happen.
It depends. Are you behind the gate or are you at a camp? The passage of time requires that if you want a decent job, the passage of time requires that 5 years elapse since your conviction. You might as well spend the 4 in there if you at a camp.
Okay, brother. Anything else? Anything else, bro? We ain't gonna see eye to eye on that. Yeah. One.
All I'm gonna say is that all I know is that since Tamaya appeared in court, a month ago, the last time she was in court. I'm asking you a question. Do you know? It was like a month ago, month and a half ago.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking. Recent, right? I think it was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I think you're generally right. Yep.
Yeah, it was very recent. All I know is that since that day, and her sentence was deferred because she's going to cooperate, city politicians in Toledo have went down, and now this householder guy has went down. I don't know if she's the one. I don't know if she's the cage bird that's singing. But that's just too much of a coincidence.
You think Tamaya has something to do with householder?
I mean, these people all know each other.
I can't speak for her associations.
Somebody that knows something.
I mean, okay.
Trust me.
If there's something there, then it'll probably come out. We'll see. Time will tell.
Or that was cute. That was cute. Pat yourself on the back. Thank you. Cute. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Don't pull any muscles, though. Just go ahead and do it.
No, I've been working that. I'm good.
Okay, good. Now, But yeah, so either she's the one ratting, or Ohio has the best FBI agents in the history of the FBI.
Do they? Or we got a lot of sloppy, corrupt politicians. It's one of those.
Three cases of public corruption by politicians all this year. And 2 of them have went down in the last month since the one got locked up.
You know what it is?
In Cincinnati. So,
you know what it is, don't you?
What's that?
It's 2020, man. 2020 is a cursed year. It's a little different in 2020. All the stars are aligning. That's what it is.
It's cursed for y'all. It's cursed for y'all.
Cursed for y'all. It's okay.
Well, not necessarily you. Not necessarily you, but the people who ain't got no hustle about them. That's gotta go ask the white man for a job.
Speak.
The people who got no skills. It's a problem for you all. I'm loving this chaos because I'm seeing where I can fit in. I'm seeing which lanes I can get in.
Sorry, it sounds like a smart brother to me. Now you talking.
Sounds like a hustler.
Yeah,
it sounds like a hustler. That's all. I love this. Hustlers love chaos.
If you can't get your hustle on right now, then you ain't got no hustle in you. Period.
Right. And hustlers love chaos. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave it at that. And I will holler at you at a future moon, B.
We'll go ahead and rack them. Good call. I mean, I disagree with some of that minor points, though. But overall, I thought good call. I don't know what Tamaya knows. I can't speak for that woman. I wish her the best. Like I said, I hate to see anybody, especially black folks, getting caught up in the legal system. I wish her the best. Does she have something to do with householder? I don't know. Is it 2020? The curse of 2020? It could be. I don't know, family. But we'll find out together. Majestic writes, I'm sure Bruce realizes it's a waste of time campaign to the black community. The demographic won't be supporting Bruce, but yet he's going to Lincoln Ware show. Listen, that's the old rules. If you're running for any office in Hamilton County and you ain't coming to talk to black folks, chances are you ain't going to get elected. It's not happening, period. And, he brought up hurt feelings. Do I look like a man that would get hurt feelings because somebody don't want to come on this show? I'm smiling every day. Don't come on. To me, I take it as a badge of courage. A little badge of honor, like, yeah, I put it with the other medals. You know what I'm saying? Local iconoclast. It's what we do. Now, as I've told you before, that's the way they try to get you in the city of Cincinnati. Like, they don't like you. They want to come on your show and they'll go on other shows. I don't give a damn about no guests coming on this show, period. Come on or don't come on. It's your opportunity. You're losing out, not me. You know what I'm saying? We built the platform. If you don't want to come on and take advantage of it, that's on you. It ain't going to stop me from waking up tomorrow. So, it is what it is. I think it's hilarious because I called it out from the very beginning. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing, Nate?
I'm doing great. Who am I speaking with?
This is Rebel.
Hey, Rebel, what's going on? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and what saddens me is that, I love you to death, but I'm telling you what, the people that live in this city are some of these people are some of this crying. We got a situation here with some young people that people won't address. We got a slurry, a huge amount of young people coming out of the foster care system right now. And these young people have no hope and they have no help. And I know this because I am their barber or I'm their hairstylist and I do it for free. Cincinnati has the worst racist history. We are the example of racism. We've set the example. There is no way you can have all the hustle you want. If you are looking to do major things and you are a brown person, the mission is to make you fail. It's written that you fail. The problem with us here is that we concentrate and we are focused and distracted on so many things. Cincinnati's not keeping black people back here. Black people are keeping black people back here. There is millions of dollars being flooded into the economic development of the NAACP, knows about it, Black Lives Matter. There is money available to completely restructure our young people that nobody seems to have enough creative sensibility to even think of, and it's a shame. And I notice it mostly here. Here's the more sad thing is that when, back at some time that you both are familiar with, it was excitable. Bullshit is excitable here. People are interested in things that matter to nobody else who has anything to do with their lives. And here we are in a city where the numbers for the virus have gone up tremendously. Young people all over the place with no guidance, no places to work, no places to live, because when I cut those young people's hair, I'm also passing them on benches and abandoned buildings because they don't have a place to go. I meet them when they're healthy. Sometimes I'm giving them the last haircut. Sometimes I'm giving them their best haircut. It's one or the other. But there is a black hole with empathy when it comes to these people, these young people who are coming out of foster care. Cranley should be ashamed of himself. If anybody black has voted for any official on the city council, they should be ashamed of themselves. Why even vote? You are placing people in one of the most racist cities in the world. They slaughtered American natives. I looked at their history right before I called here. You see all the progression. They left out the part where they slaughtered millions of brown people to settle here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Every Confederate Navy soldier formed Cincinnati. We are not focused on the stolen land that was stolen from us. Yet we are sitting here. I go on every show and I listen. And you know I'm listening because you see me. You see me wave. And I am just disgusted every time I get off the phone and I hear some of the madness with nobody with any solutions, with all the brilliance that we have. Nobody's come up with a creative solution to restructure our young people. You got leaders on here that know how to access income, but hateful over dumb shit. They don't like you they don't know what reason. Just somebody else told them not to like you, or somebody else kind of blackballed you. But here's the problem here. We are creating monsters in Cincinnati that are creating monsters. And all we want to do is get on these talk shows and talk amongst people in our circles about how bad it is. We only hear the worst. I survived COVID. Not a problem. I take care of myself. That should be the.
You were
talking
diagnosed?
about what's making us healthy. I was diagnosed positive for it. Nothing in my life has changed. I've always kept myself healthy, yet and still, first I tested inconclusive. Then I had to go back for the sake of my job. I work in public. I cut hair for the homeless. So I can't go back to work until I test negative. I'm not fucking testing like that again. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to find the funds that's necessary to restructure our young people. We have babies being born by the minute and not a single plan. All these wannabe have fames and, want to have the name. I wouldn't follow you to a bucket of fresh water if I was in a dry desert. For fear you would drink it your damn self. They're not trusted. You can't trust leaders, the so-called leaders here. There is money that is being bled into the black community right now, millions. And all we're wondering about is where the next riot is. This is the city of riot, and this is the city of revolt. Black and brown people are known to fight back here. There is not a sign of it here. want to go to the next party, want to be heard at the next event. You know, really? Why aren't our young people thriving? Yes, I'm cutting dope dealers. I'm cutting traffickers. I'm cutting the trafficked. And they're my babies. They're all younger than my children. And I love them. And it's a shame that there's no place for them to go. They come out completely healthy, traumatized. All they want is a family and connection. And here we are, people who can set an example, wasting our time on who we can bring down next, who we cannot lend a hand to next. It's plenty to do here, and Cincinnati is not holding back from us. We can go, if we work together in this community, you know how much we can have? They're not holding back from us. We're now holding ourselves back. We have achieved the example of what it means to be enslaved mentally here. We don't like each other. We are the most divided on Cranley's watch. And any other mayor, I don't care if they're black or not, who's not focused on the young people who are underutilized, unheard, and traumatized. It's a simple solution. There's a simple solution to it. But that's my soapbox.
Hey, Rebel, I appreciate it. Some of those young people are listening. We're on the internet. We all adults. I just ask folks to watch the language. We got young people watching and listening. That way parents don't have to turn off. But I understand your passion, though. I really do. And you know what?
This is our young people. This is their language.
Right.
Because I talk to
No, I'm talking about young people, like children. 5, 6, 7. That's what I'm talking about. But I understand what you're saying, and a lot of it rings very, very true to me.
18 years old. I will watch my language next time, but in no time they're 18 years old. We blink and they're 18. And
very true.
We wish they only cuss.
I blinked and my daughter's 15 all of a sudden, looking like she's damn near grown. So I definitely get it.
So I understand.
But
and I
let's do this.
I hope that I made some type of impact on the change in the narrative of your conversation. But it's saddening sometimes. Oh, yeah. It
need to be heard. It need to be said. Let's catch up and talk about what those solutions look like. And in terms of a media platform, what I can offer. What does that mean? And don't be a stranger. We need that kind of sobering outlook and flows from time to time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You have a good day.
I will. You too. That's Rebel. Yeah, I appreciate the passion. I know we all very passionate people. I get it. And it's the internet. But I have children that listen. And I know for a fact, I hear from the parents that are in the car, or just yesterday, Mrs. Love Being Black is out on a bike ride with her children. And what makes this show cutting edge is not that we can curse or call each other the N-word. I mean, you can do that anywhere. What makes this show cutting edge is the cut of the ideas, the divergent clash of views, the fact that we can agree to disagree and move on, the intelligence of it. That's what makes this show cutting edge, in my opinion, not the language. But again, I understand. I don't want to be the police. Please don't make me the police. Just think about the children. I appreciate it. 513-873-7134. Now, I got to say, fam, I've got to make a move. What's up, bud? Speaking of the children. Say hello.
Hi, everybody. I got a bump. I have a knot on my forehead.
Yeah, he fell. Was it 2 days ago? Yeah. How you doing this morning? Good. You good? I love you. Give Daddy a kiss. Give Daddy a kiss. I love you. Look. Oh, you're going to show your dog. Oh, that's great. I'm sure they love that. Yes, I see. I see you. Have a great day, man. That's my boy right there. That's Junior. All right, let me go to the phones here. Hey, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection, Drop Squad 52, calling from the left coast, also known as the People's Republic of California. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. That last caller was quite interesting, Mr. Ivy, and it sounds like to me she was not happy with the Democrat Party.
Is that what it sounds like?
I mean, Mr. Ivy, Mr. Ivy.
Of course, the
Democrat Party, they're getting exposed, Mr. Ivy, and I mean, maybe this will be the year that they will be held accountable, because you even said it earlier that 2020 is just one of those years. and you know, being in a election year, it is the second decade of the century. And if you do a little research, Mr. Ivy, the second decade of the last, I would say 400 years is quite interesting. But that's for another topic.
The second decade of the last 400 years? Okay. That doesn't make sense to me. The second decade of the last 400 years. That's not computing in my head. I just ain't smart enough, but go ahead, brother.
Okay. So that would be 2020, 1920, 1820, and 1720.
Oh, okay. You said the last 100 years. Okay. I understand now. Okay.
No, the last 400 years.
Oh, you said 400 years. Now I don't understand anymore. If you said it's the second decade of the last 100 years, that makes sense. But I don't want to get caught up in minutia. Go ahead with your flow.
Exactly. Don't get caught up in the minutia. Because, Mr. Ivy, on Thursday, the Magic Man will be making an appearance with Basement Biden. Have you heard about that, Mr. Ivy?
Who's the Magic Man?
Barack Obama.
Yeah, man.
I didn't want to call him the other one, and you know I'm capable of doing it.
Right, Magical Negro. Right.
Yeah, see, Mr. Ivy, why are you trying to trigger me?
That's what I do.
But I'm not gonna say it. But Mr. Ivy, have you heard about this this so-called live stream?
No, honestly,
it's pathetic. Okay, Mr. Ivy, they're releasing a little snippet of what's going to happen on Thursday with this social distancing conversation with the first black president, his vice president, and the 2020 presidential candidate. On the following day, 2 days after he appeared on Joy Reid's show, the first black female to host a primetime cable news network.
Right.
And he failed to answer the question if he's picking a black woman.
No, he did answer the question. He just said he hasn't made a choice yet.
Mr. Ivy, he did not answer her question.
Okay.
Look, the question was point blank. Are you picking a black woman?
True. You're right. You're right about that.
He didn't answer it.
You're right.
And I appreciate you yesterday for playing the clip, because that's who you are, Mr. Ivy. You are a powerful, influential member of the media on the come up in the world of new black media, and I gotta always shout you out, even though you ain't shout me out this morning.
I shout you out all the time
on your Twitter followers. I couldn't believe you, Mr. Ivy.
You know what? How could I? You're right. How could I leave out Drop Squad 52?
But it's the one.
See, that's the problem you run into. You start doing lists and you always forget somebody. How the hell could I forget you? You're right about that. My apologies.
But, you know, hey, I got to follow the theme of Fame Rothstein. You know, shout out to the All Middle and their affiliates. You got to get your credit when you can.
You do.
So, but Mr. Ivy, again, my question to anybody that's listening, and of course, the chaser, the overseer, Mr. Mason Mahler, maybe he can explain why the candidate for the president of the United States is sitting down and talking. He's basically interviewing Barack Obama. Mr. Ivy, I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if it's connected to a fundraiser, because it's going to be streamed over the internet.
Right.
But
they're going to discuss. Here's the headline from The Hill this morning. Obama, Biden discuss country's future, coronavirus outbreak, and their socially distanced sit-down. So they're going to be talking about politics. And you know the point of it. The point of it, no matter what they're talking about, is to promote Biden for president. That's the whole point. That ain't rocket science. That's the point.
It's the fundraise. It's the fundraise.
Well, always that fundraise. Like I said, promote, whether that be promoting more fundraising activity or promoting people to vote for him in November. It's about promoting Joe Biden.
And you also got to throw in, maybe this is something to appease black people, because he's not going to pick a black vice president, Mr. Ivy.
That's not going to work. Nothing's going to appease.
Axelrod basically said it on CNN. He's not picking a black woman.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, Mr. Ivy.
That's not what I heard.
Okay. So if he does, it's going to be some black people going to think he pandering.
Okay, so he's damned if he do, damned if he doesn't.
No, that's wrong. Because if he picks a white woman, that tells the white people out there that he needs to get to vote for him, that he's serious. But if he picks a black VP, Mr. Ivy, in this current climate of systemic racism and Black Lives Matters, don't you think if Joe Biden is asked a question about that issue or that topic, either he's going to defer to her or the media is going to be running to her to get her opinion. So is he going to be president? Because we all know the role of the vice president is basically irrelevant. But he's going to somehow change the position or the title of the vice president because it's a black woman and somehow give her more power? No, that's not going to happen. So to me, it would be a very bad thing for him to pick a black woman at this point.
Oh, really?
Because I'm not a Democrat. I'm black, but I'm not Democrat. And we know how those numbers are starting to grow across the country, Mr. Ivy. Because when Dave Chappelle goes to Kanye West and shows him support, Mr. Ivy, I keep telling you, that young black vote, that demographic inside the Democrat Party, that Obama was able to secure and Joe Biden is struggling with, maybe that's why they bring out the magic man for this little I don't know what they call him.
You just leaped over the Grand Canyon logically with that one.
Huh?
To me, you just leaped over the Grand Canyon. I don't understand the point you were making and how it had anything to do with the black vote when you brought up Dave Chappelle. I just missed it.
The young black vote, Mr. Ivy.
Yeah, what's that to do with Dave Chappelle?
I ain't talking about old Negroes like me. I'm talking about the young black vote.
Yeah, but what's that to do with Dave Chappelle going to comfort Kanye West?
Because Kanye West can change hearts and minds of these young people, like the lady who called in before me described. These young people out here are lost, okay? And just because it's not portrayed in the media nationally, because for some reason the Democrat Party want to take away responsibility from local politicians and make it a national thing, which is a bunch of BS, Mr. Ivy.
Yeah, I do.
So again, Mr. Ivy, young black people, when it used to be an automatic that they were going to vote Democrat because their mama and daddy did, it's 2020, Mr. Ivy. That is starting to change, and it started with Barack Obama back in 2008. So we're going to see what this whole thing is about on Thursday. But again, Mr. Ivy, it just looks like some more BS that the Democrat Party is trying to pull because Joe Biden has not had a press conference. Yeah, I mean, but again, I'll wait and see, but it just looked like Barack Obama is just going to be used for what he's known for, and that is to get money out of the pockets of white America.
Well, that's
all I got.
That's his function. I mean, Obama's function right now is to, whether it be donations or votes, is to help Biden win. That's his function.
Yes.
That's his function.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true. But Mr. Ivy, how is it that this nation's first black president has been silent, pretty much silent, over the past 6 weeks, considering what has happened in this country just 3.5 years after his 2 terms in the White House? He has not said a word about the black condition that is being talked about in this country since George Floyd was murdered. It is shameful, Mr. Ivy.
What I think is interesting,
that the first black president is silent,
is the fact that you have in this phone call brought up the fact that Trump has reversed himself when it came to talking about COVID-19 and wearing a mask. That's what I think is interesting. For the first time, this man is actually saying something that makes sense as it relates to COVID. And he's now saying it's patriotic to wear a mask. Had he done this months ago, he might have saved some lives.
Yes, shoulda, coulda, woulda. That is the tale of the Donald Trump presidency. Mr. Ivey, at this point, it doesn't matter what the man does. And it's the word that they use or term that they use in politics. It's baked in. Okay? So Trump is doing what he needs to do to get reelected. Okay? We all know he is trying to get reelected.
I'm glad you can be real with that.
And that garbage that has been put out there that, he's gonna just walk away. He's not gonna run. Because he can't take losing. No, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to do what he needs to do to win.
You're right.
And the reason
whether that's colluding with the Russians, whether that's trying to put pressure on the Ukraine, whether that's playing games with COVID-19 and now, posturing and saying you should wear a mask. You're right. He is completely self-interested. It's not about the American people. It's all about him. I'm glad you can admit that. Thank you.
Right. I mean, you've been saying it all along, Mr. Ivey. You have been consistent when it comes to Donald Trump. You don't get caught up in, he said this again. He did that. Because you know that's who he is. He plays the media, and the media, they acted pretty good yesterday. They didn't ask too many dumbass questions. They were okay. So, again, Donald Trump is trying to get reelected, Mr. Ivey. He has the money. He has the base. He just needs an opponent. Now, maybe after Thursday, after the so-called interview with the Magic Man, maybe Joe Biden will come out of the basement and have a press conference or something to where the media can ask him questions instead of an appearance on MSNBC. One appearance, Mr. Ivey. It's been okay. I'm done, Mr. Ivey. Thank you for taking my call, and good luck in whatever you're doing today, because I see you got your tie on looking all professional. And you keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Ivey.
Absolutely.
Drop 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. I feel somebody behind me. Who chasing me? Peace.
That man, we'll go ahead and rack him. Good call. At least he can admit it. Y'all, they buck broke Nick. They buck broke Nick Cannon, y'all. He went from this conscious brother that was speaking his truth to buck broken. Yeah. Do you know what that means? Well, stick around. I'll tell you what it means in just a little bit. What happened? What happened to the conscious Nick that was keeping it real and telling everybody what time it is? What happened to that brother? And now he's going to the Holocaust Museum and pledging a donation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's all just in the lines of learning and growing, I guess, right? I guess so. We'll be right back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Live, local, and vocal. Don't go anywhere.
Hey everyone. Let's all stop what we're doing right now and take a moment. That felt good, huh? Just like that, we had a nice special sort of moment together. Of course, they don't all need to be quiet moments to be special. They could be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. Sounds like somebody agrees. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Today, call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Zoe Wesson. What side of history do you want to be on? The right side, or one where black people continue to be underrepresented in Hamilton County? Now's your chance to end 230 years of exclusion. In Charlie Winburn, we have a man that's received the Cincinnati NAACP President's Award, who fought on the Ohio Civil Rights Commission for 6 years, who received the Baptist Ministers Conference Community Service Award. Charlie Winburn has received the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Award and was honored by WDBZ The Buzz as Pastor of the Month. We know Charlie Winburn, and he knows us. He's the right man to put us on the right side of history. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 3rd, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn. Hello, I'm Charlie Winburn with Renew Community Church. It seems like the coronavirus came from nowhere. I have some good news, that if you never quit and don't give up, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family. Take your life back. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday, 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CincyRenew. Rewrite your life while at home. Join Renew Community Church for the 12-week Rewrite.me series each Sunday on Facebook Live. Renew your life at home. Go to SundayConnectCircle.org for a free 12-week, 200-page PDF. Take your power back. Rewrite your life. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday at 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CINCI Renew. I am Charlie Winburn, and remember, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now, let's get back to the flow.
Get to the chopper!
Yeah, I think Nick Cannon's been buck broken. He opened his mouth, started talking about Jewish folks. It's been all bad since then, man. Lost his job at Viacom, which, it is what it is. He's apologized 1,000,000 times. Is he still apologizing? I don't think he stopped. And then I heard about suicide attempts. And at first I was thinking like, damn, this brother, is he getting that much pressure? Then I heard about a family member or a friend of his that committed suicide and died tragically. So maybe he was caught up in his feelings with that, which I understand. But this blessing called life is once in a lifetime. You get one shot, man. I don't want to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Live your best life. Good morning to you, family. 513-873-7134. Hey, do me a favor. Take a minute and please share today's show on your social media, maybe your channel or your platform. That's a way that you can support independent black media here in the city of Cincinnati, because that's what you're listening to, independent black media. And I think there's a role for corporate media and independent media inside the same media sort of atmosphere that we have here in the greater Cincinnati area. In fact, I'm living proof of it. We're doing it every single day because of your support. 513-873-7134. In case you missed it, I'll flash it again on the screen for you. And good morning. Let me go straight to the choppers. Read more of your chat this morning. Angela writes, he's spending his time where he gets the most exposure to the base of his support. I mean, I hear you, Angela. There's 1,000 excuses and reasons why, but it's a whole different media landscape. And for people that continue to look over the power of shows like this and digital media, they do that at their detriment. And it is what it is. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. This platform has proven its usefulness and resourcefulness and its ability to connect with audiences over and over and over again. So I hear what you're saying, but I ain't buying it. It's the path of least resistance, period. And I called it out a month ago. I ain't surprised by it. I've been waiting for it, quite honestly. But shout out to Angelo for sharing it this morning. But I just don't feel you on that, Angela. I know better. I'm doing it. I know better than that. The power of digital media and the power of voices, independent voices, is undeniable. It's undeniable. For people that kind of deny it, either you are talking ish or you just don't know what you're talking about. In no way am I trying to criticize you at all, Angela. I'm saying, generally speaking, outside of you, I know you're a very smart, intelligent person. I'm just saying, kill all that. It's just too many good people making connections, creating platforms, connecting to what's going on here in the city. I just know too much to say that's true. It just comes down to what somebody said. Bruce Hoffcoward is taking a path of least resistance, probably told so by Alex Triantafilou, who has told me to the side, things about the interview that we did many years ago. So I know better. You know what I'm saying? I know better than that. But I hear what you're saying, though. For politicians, today's media game, yeah, you want to hit your major players, but overlooking digital media, you do so at your detriment. I'm just telling you. And I can run through a list of the power of it. You know what I'm saying? And the power of social media is undeniable. Anybody that tries to deny it don't know what they're talking about, or they talking ish. It's either one of those. There is no in between with that. We are too far into the digital revolution to overlook the power of those voices on the internet, including a show like this. But it is what it is. I mean, don't get it twisted now. I expected this. Mason Muller writes, like Obama going on Fox News. Mrs. Love Being Black writes, good morning, fellow beautiful, if I can get it out. She writes, good morning, fellow beautiful, smart choppers. Good morning to you as well. The choppers are very smart, intelligent people. Yes, people that look toward the future, highly intelligent, people that put things in action. Mason Muller writes, Trump Republicans are like a cult. But, people could say the same thing about Obama. It was black folks that voted for Obama, you know what I'm saying, and fell asleep. And then want to criticize them 8 years later because they didn't get enough results. So I think it's the cult of personality, right? And Trump has that. Say what you want. Trump has millions of people that will dance to the rhythm of what he says. We see it already. I guarantee you, if Trump continues to, it's going to take more than one time to undo, the mental lockdown about the masks in the minds of some of these Trumpsters, right? But if Trump continues on this line where he's like now pro-wear a mask and is patriotic, I guarantee you're going to see more people doing it. No doubt about it. You're going to see more Trumpsters like, I guess I will mask up, right? Because Trump said, I guess it's okay now, right? Because they feel like they're not succumbing to the Democrat power or the media. They're doing it because the leader of their party is doing so. So now they got every reason to do so. Again, let's see. I mean, time will tell. Yesterday was the first time that Trump was on the pro-mask type of tip. Let's see if he keeps it up, and if he does, if there's any kind of a difference. I suspect that more of the Trumpsters will start doing it because they follow this guy's lead. Some of these folks are on that QAnon stuff, so they weren't wearing a mask because it was somehow connected to QAnon. But now that Donald Trump, who in their mind is the leader of the resistance against QAnon, and if you're wondering, what is QAnon? QAnon is this far-right conspiracy theory that pedophiles and others are running the media and everything, and that Donald Trump is leading a righteous battle against them, but he's doing it subliminally, right? He's not doing it up here. He's doing it here, right? Below the surface. So you really got to watch everything he says in the media and decipher it, because sometimes he will give you some clues that only QAnon folks know. I'm not making this up, man. I was just listening to NPR like 3 or 4 days ago. They were talking about it even on there. This stuff has gone mainstream with these conspiracy theories, and in the minds of some of them, it's tied up with some of these masks. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. Let's go back to the phones and welcome in John from Florida. What's up, John?
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivy and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people around the world. And yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. What's going on? How are you?
Sitting back here, having my car worked on and listening to your flows at the same time.
Okay, great.
And your last caller you had on, who was that chop there that was just on? What is he, a Republican or is he a Democrat? I just haven't figured out.
He is a Republican.
What he is.
He's a Republican.
Oh, okay, yeah. As I listened to him, I said, he must be a Republican. He sound like, but we'll get into chop in a second. You were just talking about Nick Cannon, and maybe you can put some clarification to his comments that he made about the Jewish community, because I hadn't quite got all of it yet. maybe you can explain to me as well as the choppers and people around the world that haven't really caught his statements.
Really?
Or do you have a clip of it that you can play?
Yeah, I do have a clip, John. As a matter of fact, I think the clip can do it more justice than I could. And if you need me to, I can find it and play it for you. I'd be willing to do that. It's a little bit of old news that happened like last week, but to sum it all up, he says some things that people thought were anti-Semitic, all of which he's walked back at this point and apologized profusely over and over again. And now he is, interviewing rabbis and visiting the Holocaust Museum and leaving donations. He's done almost a complete reversal, a 180 from what he was saying before. But essentially, he got himself into trouble with some people about his comments that was deemed anti-Semitic. And then his relationship with Viacom was severed on their part because of it. And he did many shows. I think he has some other production shows in the works, but one show in particular that was very popular that he did was called Wildin' Out. No G, Wildin' Out. And so now he's in some kind of battle about the control of the rights of that particular product as well. So that kind of sums it up. But I can play a clip for you here before I leave this morning. And if you're listening, you'll get a chance to hear just from Nick a snippet anyway. I mean, it was an hour-long conversation, but it was like a little snippet, I think, that people say he got himself in trouble with. And now he's buck broken. So there it is. No more conscious Nick Cannon.
Well, I respect Nick Cannon. I listen. I'm glad to hear that. Every now and then you get a Nick Cannon or an African American male and female that speaks out and speak within their heart because they understand who controls the world, controls this country. It's nothing new what Nick Cannon has said, but we do have to, and I'm assuming you can agree with me, you have to be careful you don't bite the hand that feeds you, or you don't want to lose that paycheck. Whereas you may feel a certain way, and I agree with you, and Minister Farrakhan had mentioned it a number of times over the years, and that's why they hate him. But every now and then an African-American male or female will stand up and say what they know that's in their heart and what they understand is control of this country. Let's go back in time in history, choppers, really, really quick. Hitler came to power because he looked around Germany and he looked around who was controlling Germany at that time, banks, schools, department stores, food supply, everything. The Germans wasn't controlling that. The Jews was controlling it. Look it up, chopper. It's not John from Princeton that's making these things up. It's in the history book. It's all there.
Hey, John, is there any way you can speak up a little bit? You sound a little bit low to me in my speakers.
Speakerphone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Black man, were you on speakerphone again? That's blasphemous for radio shows, man.
Well, I was out in the rain, so I was inside the lobby getting my car worked on, so I had to step away for a second because too much noise in the lobby.
Thank you for that, John. Just an FYI for anybody listening, and John again, never call in on speakerphone. It's always going to degrade the quality of the audience's ability to hear what you have to say. It's always going to degrade your audio quality. Just so we on point with that. Thank you.
I apologize about that. So to recap, what Hitler did was to take control of Germany by taking control of the government. Once he got control of that, and let's be clear about how he got control, because the 6 wealthiest families in this country, yes, the Rockefellers and several other powerful family members in this country bankrolled Hitler. Nobody talks about that. That's part of the reparation that America has been getting. But that's another story in another day.
Yes, it is.
Hitler once he got that money, got control, and then we saw the rest. It's all there in the history book. He figured out a way of kicking the Jews out of the country and other dirty things that he did.
Other dirty things like the mass extermination of Jewish people?
Yes.
Other dirty things?
Yes. Well, I didn't want to get too depth with some people that don't know that part of history. So, Cannon knows that and some other people. And now we bring it up to the turn of the century today. Who controls the banks around the world? Who controls and radio, TV, and everything else. I hate to say it. I know some Jewish people that are listening to the Nathan Ivey Show. Sometimes you got to tell the truth. I know the truth hurts, but it's the
You're going to get canceled. You're going to get buck broken like Nick Cannon. Don't do it.
Well, yeah, they can't cancel me. I'm my own man, so I don't sit on their platform.
Okay,
so I can speak.
I can
speak whatever I want to speak and not be controlled, and I can put on my internet the truth if I choose to do that. But I know how to dance. I know how to dance the line and tell the truth at the same time, even though some of us don't want to hear the truth. Black, white, Jewish, the truth hurts. I understand that. So, but Nick Cannon, his story is no more different than any other African American, or even some people outside the African American community that tells the truth. That they control this country. It's a fact. It is truth. And they don't like you to say it, but yet they get their reparation every year, $33 to $50 billion from this government. Oh, that's another story at another time. You don't have time for me to break down the reparation that they get from us.
No, you're right. We don't.
Taxpayers. That's another day at another time.
Yeah, you're right.
But
you're right. It is.
Nick Cannon's story is no more different. And he danced the line. He went a little over the line. He didn't have to do that because, once again, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. They control Viacom. They control the media in this country, radio, TV, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's the truth. So, he should have been a little bit smarter. If you're going to dance and talk the subject, sometimes you got to pull back a little bit so you don't step over the line too much. So he can run around the country, go to the Holocaust and all of that, which I've been in there many times, just to support the arts and support these Jewish Holocausts. I don't have a problem with that. But he's going to apologize. He can apologize from here to sundown. It doesn't mean anything because he may get the job back.
He's done that. So, he's done that. He's done that and more. He's apologized and done more than that. And now he's buck broken.
Well, the powers within that control that system may be there. They want him to give some donation, $1 million or so, the Jewish Holocaust or whatever he's getting. They want him to apologize from here to sundown. Most of the time you do that, you don't get nothing back. You can dance to here to sundown. He's not going to get it back. He may not get it back. I hope he gets his job back. I'm not mad at him.
Well,
but
he's a boss. He said you can't fire a boss. So it wasn't so much he had a job. He had a relationship, right? Production relationship with Viacom as an entity. I don't have a problem with apologizing when I'm wrong. And I don't look down on somebody for apologizing when they're wrong. But I think that the moral of the Nick Cannon story has to be think before you open your mouth, and either you know what you're talking about or you're comfortable with the outcomes no matter what it might be, when what you say comes out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? To me, it seems like he's just trying to save his career and his relationships on some levels. And, it is what it is. Like I said, if he's apologized and clearly he thinks he did something wrong. So that's pretty much end of story.
Yeah. Well, it may be end of stories, and maybe they may allow him to come in. He may have to wait a year, let this die down. Sometimes they do allow certain people to come back. Who is the comedian, the white woman with the red hair? She speaks her mind all the time. She stepped over that.
White woman with the red hair. Are you talking about Kathy Griffin?
Yeah, that's her. Yes. Yeah, she's always on The View every now and then.
Yeah.
And she had to disappear. Whatever she said and whatever she did, the powers within snatched her off the system.
Oh yeah, so that little stunt she did where she took the art. I guess it was supposed to be art, and it was like apparently a mock-up of the head of Donald Trump that had been severed. Remember that?
Yes.
And then she caught some flack for that because I can see how people might take that as a threat. And you're talking about the president of the United States, so yeah, you're definitely gonna get some visibility for something like that. You're gonna move traffic.
Well, now her story is a little bit different. She didn't say nothing anti-Semitic. She was saying what's in her heart, like take his head off, and she did a portrayal of it. So she stepped slightly over the line. The Jewish people didn't have a problem with that, and they supported her because they've been supporting her for years. Her comedy sketch and everything.
Oh yeah, she ended up crying on The View and crying on The Breakfast Club. She went to The Breakfast Club and started crying about how they came for her and tried to destroy her career. You know, I'm just saying, I mean, I can respect these kind of moves, these kind of statements. Okay, great. Make your iconoclastic statement. You know, it's a bold statement, but be ready for the backlash. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming, especially something like that with the president of the United States. I don't care who you are. If Dave Chappelle did that, he was going to catch heat for it. It is what it is.
Well, David Chappelle is smart enough to know not to go over that line. With all the zillions of dollars that he got, he still knows he's being controlled to a certain point. Even though Dave Patel owns that show format, it is his show. Even if somebody dropped him, somebody else will pick him up because his viewership is huge.
Oh, yeah.
The millions of dollars that he's making. But Kathy Griffin is just a little snot to the side. She's a comedian, a little snot. They can stiff her, but she stepped over the line by doing something that you can agree with that idiot in the White House or not, but you slightly can't step too much over the line. If not, she got to knock at the door, Secret Service, come over here. You don't say that. So Trump and his powers within made the networks and the powers within that control her, she's got to step down for a while. So she's off the circuit, and I happened to catch her on The View. I think it was one day last week. So it looks like she's resurfacing. She'll be back because the Jewish community likes her.
Okay. I don't really care if he comes back or not, John. I'm not sure we're talking about this right now. I know you got a point here somewhere. Where you leading me with this?
Well, I'm just saying Nick Cannon, the point with him is just, as you agree, and me and you agree, that he stepped over the line. We don't know how this is going to play out, and time will tell. He may have to kind of slightly step away because what he said was really going over the line with the Jewish community. And the bottom line is, the point is, you got to look at Nick Cannon's relationship with Minister Farrakhan.
Yeah.
That's something nobody's looking at, and the Jewish community hates Minister Farrakhan
and Professor Griff. Yeah, they do. So hey, John, I got to make a move but I want to give you the last word. So go ahead and finish up, brother.
So that is the last point. And what's your guy that was just on before me?
Drop.
He talks about Trump and you know, Trump is going no place. He's not going to get reelected. He's not going to get reelected. Drop if you're listening. And if he does, he'll have to steal the election. And if that happens, watch these protests escalate to another level that you can't imagine. He's done. He is done, Drop. And we will see. Let's see how it plays out. Have a nice day.
That's the Zorro. Far be it from me to challenge somebody's grammar. But escalate? I don't know what that means, brother. Maybe it's a hip hop era thing where you can just make up your own words. But I think I know you. Far be it from me. I ain't trying. Don't start spell checking me now because you're going to find some mistakes. Okay, I flub words too, but just stood out to me there for a second. That's John. You got to love him. That's John. Good morning to the choppers. Good morning, everybody. I'm on Facebook right now. Shine the light and the roaches will run. That's Ralph. What's up? Good morning, Ralph. Sister Iris writes, good morning, great people. Good to see you, Sister Iris, as always. Big supporter of the show in ways that people don't even know. I support her 100%. Appreciate your involvement with the show. 100%. Dale writes, Nate, do you think Lincoln is going to throw softballs at Hofbauer? I think Lincoln's going to be Lincoln. I don't know one way or the other. Like I said, I love the fact that there is multiple platforms here in the city of Cincinnati. I'm glad you have your corporate voices and you have your independent voices like mine and others, right? I think that for you, the audience, for people in Cincinnati, that's great. I think that's great. And I don't know. I have no idea. I do know that Bruce Hofbauer is running for me. I know that. I do know that if he comes on this show, he ain't going to get no softball questions. He going to get some tough follow-ups. At the same time, I would like to think this is a fair space. You know, I like to think that this is a fair space. I think you can be tough and fair at the same time, and that's my style. And obviously, Bruce Hofbauer is afraid to come on this show and speak to me. I don't know. Now, I'm going to say it again. We broke the story here. Scoop local media. It seems like this would be a natural landing spot, but I understand the reputation that I have. And among certain circles, like some people are like, oh, don't go on his show, it's Gotcha Radio. I take that as a badge of honor. That means that you're going to be asked tough questions, and we're not going to sit around trying to be friends with you and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. But I got a job to do. I'm going to do the job for the community. And if you don't want to come on the show, don't come on the show. If you don't want to be friends, then don't be friends. I mean, I'm married to a beautiful black woman with 2 beautiful kids. I do what I love every single day. So it's not going to change what I do, but I get it. So that's all I know. I can't really speak about how anybody else does what they do. I wish him the best. I'm sure it'll be a great interview. I think Lincoln will ask the questions that people want him to ask, and then people will have an opportunity. If I'm not able to chime in, I just ask the team and I to speak for me, speak for us. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them disrespect this platform. We broke the story here first. Make sure you ask that question if I'm not able to get on and get in, and pressure Lincoln and whoever else, you know what I'm saying, to ask those questions. Now, him asking about me is not going to be on his agenda because he's going to ask his own questions. 100% get that. Don't expect anything different. But there's some cross-pollination here with my audience as his, obviously. And it's on you. You know what I'm saying? If I can't be there, it's on you. Say something. Ask the questions. Demand some answers. But I expected. I said this a month ago. I told you it was going to happen. I know how this city works. I know how this city works, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm 40 plus years in this city. 20 years in the game, the media game. I get it. I understand. I've got no problem with it. Daryl writes, Nate, I vaguely remember this story. Please recap for us from Cincinnati that live out of town. Well, I think I've recapped it. Bruce Hoffbauer, back when he was a Cincinnati police officer, I think he was like 5 years or less on the job, killed an unarmed man in a hallway, basically. And it was him and another officer. Apparently, this unarmed man was charging him or moving toward him at a fast rate. And the only thing that Bruce Hoffbauer could do was to use lethal force. Now, this is back in the 90s. I'll say it again. Back in the 90s, pre-collaborative, pre-social unrest. And these kind of incidences is what's led to the social unrest, right? It's what led to it, is that you had a long list of unarmed, primarily black men that were being killed by police officers, and nothing was happening because you had the old racist good old boy network, right? And these law enforcement officers, so-called back in the day, I'm speaking of back in the 90s, they just had a whole different set of rules. It was a different mentality, and it was a different rules of engagement. You can get away with that kind of stuff, and he got away with it and stayed on the force. And this story was buried until I uncovered it. It was brought to my attention, and I uncovered it and put it out there. And, for a while, nobody wanted to talk about it. I'm glad to see the Inquirer finally caught up with it and others start talking about it as well. I'm happy to see that. And I'm glad to see he's going to be on, talking with black folks in the city of Cincinnati. But it ain't the same as talking with us and with me here. It's not the same, period. People can say what they want to say. I already know what it is. So that's what happened. Gerald writes, what's up? What up, though, choppers? What up, Gerald? Jerry writes, facts. Brandon writes, tell him Nate straight fronting. I think that was when I was talking to Fame. He was talking some googly gop about 1 year is the same as 4 years. Again, I don't have to go to prison to understand the passage of time. We all understand that 1 year is less than 4 years. Let me see. I don't believe he has been in jail, just fronting. I believe the brother has, unfortunately. And he's talked about it. I mean, he's not embarrassed about it. He said that, it's opened his eyes in some ways. So if he's cool with it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody, makes mistakes. I believe in the redemptive qualities. Like when you come out, clean slate. I don't hold it against you. You know what I'm saying? You got a story to tell. You got more experience. I believe in that. I believe that these brothers and sisters can come out of jail and we should give them a clean slate and allow them to build their life back up. Like, I really mean that across the board. Same thing with anybody else. So I don't think he would make that up. That's not the kind of thing I think that anybody would want to play with. And I think he was really trying to share his experience. I think he was being sincere to some degree in terms of trying to share his experience. So that's just my take on it. Almost the top of the hour again. I've got 7 minutes left and I got to make a move, but let's take a final call here. Hey, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, comrade.
Hey, Black Russia. Good morning. Welcome. Hey, Black Russia, I've only got about 4 minutes, maybe 5 at the most for you, but go right ahead, brother.
Okay, I appreciate it. I won't be long. I just wanted to mention, I don't know how much conversation you've had about this, the CPS blended learning, supposedly what they're going to be doing in the fall. Maybe you had some conversation about it, but I guess to get to the point, have you looked at their online options?
Okay, I missed what you said initially. Can you reiterate that, please?
Sure. Have you looked at CPS's online option for the fall?
Yes, I have looked at them, yes.
What do you think about it?
I think that there's a lot of holes in it. I think that there's a lot of questions that need to be asked. I don't really have a lot of confidence in it, even though I have two children who in November coming up will be going to CPS, one in the kindergarten, the other in the 10th grade. So I'm concerned. And in terms of me personally, with my daughter and my children, we're taking a wait and see approach, which means that the digital academy is an option for us. As of now, I'm planning on allowing my daughter to attend school. And the decision still is up in the air for us personally about our son. But I'm concerned. I don't have 100% confidence. Hopefully that answers your question.
You don't have 100% confidence. You talking about in the digital academy, or are you talking about the plan to reopen, period?
The plan to reopen, period. And the ability for, when we do reopen, the ability for the hybrid solution to offer enough safety for, the children, my daughter, the students, and also the staff as well. I guess I'm wondering if it's just going to become a petri dish and it's going to make the COVID spread like wildfire all over again.
Right. I mean, I think that could happen, but I've been looking at the digital option too. I just didn't know if you had seen anything that maybe I didn't. They touted that as college prep for everybody. Did you read that too?
I don't remember that.
All college prep. You should look at it. It's like they said, it's all college prep and it's K through 12. Now I'm not sure how much a kindergarten can learn on the digital academy. That'd be interesting to see. But I'm curious about the whole thing too, because the COVID ain't going away. So it's kind of like, do you wait for the school district to make a decision, or do you make your own decision right now? Because, CPS parents can just say, yo, we're going to just do the digital academy for the fall. We ain't even going to wait for the board to make any decisions about any hybrid learning.
Right. And again, there are parents who have made that decision. I would recommend that you make your decision now and then be open to what happens, right? I know parents who are allowing their kids to go back to school and they're going to take wait and see approach. And I know parents who are like, screw that. My kid is going to digital academy and we'll wait and see what's going to happen after that. I respect parents and their individual rights, no matter what it is. I'm not sure if you heard the Is It Just Me podcast on Friday, but Donnie B talked with Pam Bowers and then got a chance to talk with the superintendent. So I do know that August 3rd is the date that's kind of looming when some of this stuff is going to be put in place. And then we'll know more after that particular date. So that's kind of the date on my calendar as well. I would say the same thing to all concerned parents as well. So, just from the conversation that I heard, there's a lot of question marks. There's still some gaps there in terms of who's responsible and how they made their decisions. And I just feel like right now, behind the scenes, CPS administrators are probably working, day and night to double check and triple check. I hope anyway, to double check and triple check all these plans in every facet of reopening the school building.
I guess my fear is, I'm thinking like, let's not even open the schools. Let's just go digital academy. My only question about the digital academy would be, I looked at the website. They only got like 8 or 9 staff there. Now, let's say there's an overrun of kids who want to do the digital academy. Are they going to pull teachers from other schools to help do that? Because it looks like it's just like one math teacher at the digital academy for K through 12 or maybe 2. And like if everybody enrolls, I don't even understand how overrun digital academy. It used to be virtual high school, but how overrun it's going to be. I'm not concerned about it too. Like it's a whole bunch of concerns all the way around. Like digital academy, like a good option, but the number of staff they got, I don't know if they'll be able to handle. I think I seen a number like as many as 2,400 students might do digital this fall. I'm just concerned about whether they get overran or not. It's just like they make a decision on August 3rd. I'm not sure which way to go as it relates to where you go back to school, get COVID, or do you do digital online and like get a bad educational experience. Right. It's all up in the air, but I know you got to go, but I was going to say this, man, as we saw from yesterday, there's corruption in both political parties. People just got to be independently minded and watching everything that's going on.
True.
And from the way that the villagers are talking, there's going to be more folks to get hit. I'm really going to look at the Democrats who voted for Householder to become speaker. They're going to get some scrutiny too.
We shall see, brother. I got to make a move. Appreciate you, brother, but I cannot. I got to make a move. Hey, listen, thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. The Nathan Ivey Show brought to you by Sin Digital Media independent voice here in the city of Cincinnati. Have an excellent rest of your day. I'll be back with you and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Please like and share today's broadcast. I really appreciate you. Viva La Chapas. We'll talk real soon. I'm Nathan Ivy, and I'm out.